Another individual, Sean, who's lost his life, is the very famous or infamous Yahya Sinwar. So I've got so many questions on this, we haven't got time. Obviously, the first question is, was it really him? The second one will be, so what? What actually is the impact?
Yeah, so was it really him is definitely one that's been bouncing around, because the conspiracy theorists say, Israel's just claimed they've seized a head. I think we can knock that one on the head pretty quickly. So Israel, if they hadn't got Yahya Sinwar but claimed they had, if you were Yahya Sinwar and that's what you read, you would pop up somewhere and go,
yeah,
here I am, massively undermined. So one of the things that Israel, they had him, but they weren't sure they got him. So it was about 24 hours before they actually said, we've got him. And part of that was apparently taking DNA, because Yahya Sinwar had been locked up in prison in Israel.
Oh, well, he was amongst a lot of prisoners who got exchanged for one, was it an IDF soldier?
Yeah. Who'd been locked up for 5 years. Over 1,000 prisoners were exchanged for that one soldier. Yahya Sinwar was one of those. I think he was serving 4 life sentences at the time. So they had his DNA. So the point was, they could therefore go back and go, we need to be sure about this. 24 hours later, they'd done the right, we've now got him. Now they've gone out public and said, we've got him. And I think Israel would be horribly naive and stupid to claim that if they weren't absolutely sure, because that would bounce back and hurt them.
Yeah.
It would in this days of social media, it would bounce back.
Okay, so let's assume then it's him.
Yeah, so the question then is, what impact? I mean, the trouble is all these organisations are hydras, aren't they? That you chop off one head and another one grows back.
Yeah.
So Hamas would have you believe it doesn't matter. We've got 100 people, 1,000 people ready to step into his shoes. That might be true, but my experience, and probably yours as the head of an organisation, there is a role for looking down into the organisation, and there's a role for looking up and engaging. And generally the top of the organisation looks up and out, and you have henchmen who do the bottom and down. Yahya Sinwar was at the top, so his relations would be international. They would be with Iran, they would be with lots of other nations. Those relations will be heavily protected. You can't replace those easily. You can't take a guy who was a henchman and suddenly put him in a suit and he's now got to do the diplomacy side. Yahya Sinwar has been doing that for a long time, and that is the bit that will hurt them. It isn't the fact of having a figurehead, wear a badge, I'm now head of Hamas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say something positive about somebody that's maybe not too pleasant, but to be the head of an organisation, of any organisation, having some charisma is also required, because you need people to follow you. You need people who, when you say, follow me, go over the top, or whatever it is, people are going to follow you. That's quite hard to replace as well. But I think your comment about the network and the years it takes to build those trusted relationships up, so you can have important conversations and negotiations and trading and sharing with others who are not part of your own clan. That's tough to replace.
It's also so difficult. By all accounts, Yahya Sinwar was quite intimidating. He was quite ruthless.
Yeah. If
you're a deputy, it's quite difficult to be ruthless, because you may not be speaking with your master's voice.
Yeah.
But the master can be afford to be very ruthless. And so how do you get the next generation that have that same confidence to do that? So it's an important step. I think Benjamin Netanyahu said it was the beginning of the end, not the end. But the very fact that they continued fighting, for me, it left the question, what is your metric of success, Israel? When are you going to stop fighting? Is it when the last round comes out from Gaza? In which case, I think you could be fighting for a long time.